Alright, guys. First book of April. Look at this. What is going on here? What is going on here? You're telling me I could have read this in fall and I would have been blown away. I'm reading this now in April because I needed a cozy read. I needed a palate cleanser. I needed it, I just needed it. I needed a minute. This book is everything. This book is everything. If you haven't read it in the fall, you need to read it. Holy cow. Adam, June, the yearning in this book, the sweetness in this book, the romantic gestures in this book, the imagery of New York in this book, the way they care for each other, the way they just are so comfortable with each other. Ultimate best friends, ultimate cozy vibes, ultimate everything. And he's a chef. Did I say he's a chef? Adam is a chef. I mean, I have a weak spot for a chef, but still, she doesn't cook a thing. The girl does not cook a thing. June, you don't cook a thing, girl. Why? Why don't you cook a thing? I was not expecting this when I picked up this book as a palate cleanser for, before I started some other books this month. And the man is hot. Tall, dark, and handsome. And I quote by June, tall, dark, and handsome to the max. The first time she sees him in a tuxedo, really any man in a tuxedo, I think, does something. Just does something. But they had never had a reason to dress up. And that was the first time they saw each other dressed to the nines. Oh. I just love it. I love it so much whenever they've known each other for so long and they've just cared each other intensely for so long. And then something happens, like it always does. Something happens and it causes a change. It causes awkwardness. It causes a rift that neither can speak about. Why does that always happen? Why does that always happen with friends? I feel like we've all had those situations where we have a friend, whether platonic or not, and everything's just fantastic, and then there's either a misunderstanding or someone heard something from somebody else, or you've done something and it's misinterpreted, and then just like that, all those years of friendship, and you don't hate the person, but there's just no longer that comfortability there. And oh my god, Jude and Adam, look what it does to me. I can't even speak right. And why do I hate Riley though? Why do I low-key hate Riley and the girl didn't even do anything to me? She was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. But I low-key hate Riley. If you know, you know. I don't want to give any spoilers. But I'm enjoying this book so much. I don't want it to end. I don't want it to end. I'm on page 327. I've enjoyed it from page 1. The characters, I'm invested in the characters, the side characters. Adam's best friend, Robbie, I believe is his name. I'm invested in him. And then I'm invested in June's friend, who is making it, as a lawyer. I forget June's name, but not June's name, but June's best friend's name. She's been there the whole time with, observing June and Adam's relationship as roommates, and then as friends, as close friends, and then as the question mark, will it move on to another thing? Just, this book is great. This book is great. If you have not picked up this book, it's different this time. Why is it giving me You've Got Mail? It's giving me You've Got Mail, but without like the anger banter, but like just the way it's described, the brownstone that, you know, they're living in, the fact that they both care for each other. You know, obviously in You've Got Mail, they weren't friends for many, many years, but it's just giving me that vibe, that cozy, I want everything to work out vibe. But yeah, I love it. We'll see. A few more pages. Let's see, how many pages total is this? I don't want to read anything. It has 400 something pages. I'm on 327. I'm finishing it today. Stay so tuned because I need to talk to somebody about this. I can't just hold it in. Okay, I can't hold this in, so I'm loving it. Adam, you've officially made it to my fictional boyfriend list, so. Hey everyone, so I did finish reading It's Different This Time by Joss Richard, and let's just say it was not what I expected. When we last talked about this book, I was at a part where Riley, which was Adam's girlfriend, before June left to California to pursue acting on movies and on shows, and I was really upset. I was really upset with Riley because I felt like she just kind of got in the way of everything, and really I shouldn't have been upset about Riley, because I feel like June, when she met Riley, she said things to her really that were not true. Like she told Riley that what was his name? I'm gonna say it's Liam. Yeah, she told Riley that her and Liam were an item, which at the time they were not. And she only told Riley this to make her feel comfortable with her and Adam being roommates. And I feel like she didn't need to do that. Why did Riley feel the need, why did June feel the need to make Riley comfortable? Like, what was the point of it? What was the point of her telling Riley that her and Liam were a couple? Because of course Riley is going to tell Adam. But I guess it didn't matter at that point, because they were already kind of like in an awkward position where Adam and June weren't really even talking, and they were kind of avoiding each other, and they were kind of just going through some things. They just weren't clicking anymore. So I guess June thought she was trying to help, but I digress. Then come to find out later that June does something that I feel true friends don't do to friends, let alone to people that you care about in a romantic way. And the crazy part is that she talked herself into thinking that that was the right thing to do, that it was the right decision. And I genuinely feel like that was a mistake. She should not have been thinking that. Here I thought it was going to be a cozy fall read, and that it was going to be a good little palate cleanser, only to find out that it was going to upset me. beautiful love story between, Adam and June. But the insecurities that June had were really hard to read about, but definitely something that we can all identify with. She had it in her head that she wasn't good enough for Adam because he had a plan, he had goals, and he was achieving those goals. And she thought that the road that she was on was not as good as the road Adam was on. I think we can all kind of identify with that. But ultimately, she made her choices. She went on with her life. She continued with her career of acting. Adam continued with his goals of being a chef. And they just kept living their lives. I'm not going to give away too much on how it ends, but it was very frustrating. But I think at the end, the growth that they both had was really good. And it was a really nice story. I enjoyed it. It was completely different than what I thought it was going to be. But as you can see, there were a lot of important parts that I really enjoyed. I wish I had read it sooner. I'm on the fence if it's a 4-star or a 5-star read for me, because it made me feel so many emotions and it made me really dislike some of the characters. But the things that Adam would do for June and the things that June would do for Adam, and just the dynamic that they had, really makes me lean towards a 5-star. But then I get so upset with the things that June did, and it makes me lean towards a 4-star. So I'm gonna have to let this one simmer a little bit. But if you're thinking about picking It's Different This Time up, I definitely suggest that you do. Just go in knowing that it's not a light and fluffy book like I thought it was gonna be. It definitely has its hard topics in there. But overall, it's a very good book. So let me know what you guys think about it, if you have read it, if you're going to read it. I look forward to talking to you guys soon about it.